The countdown was already screaming in my ears when the lights went out. 10, 9, 8. The room fell into a darkness so complete it felt thick, like something alive pressed against my eyes. Someone laughed nervously. Somewhere glass shattered, and then I heard it. A slow, deliberate knock. Not on the door, from inside the walls. My heart slammed against my ribs as the crowd kept counting, unaware that the sound wasn't part of the celebration. The knock came again, closer, heavier, like something trying to get out. 7, 6, 5. That was the moment I realized this New Year's Eve was not going to end with fireworks. It was going to end with screams, because some nights are cursed from the very first second. And New Year's Eve, the night everyone believes promises change, is the night darkness loves the most. And by the end of this video, you'll understand why some people never celebrate the New Year again. Because the people in these stories thought they were safe. They were wrong. They all believed the worst was behind them. But none of them knew the truth waiting for them after midnight. The first story begins with laughter, with music, with hope, and it ends with a lesson written in blood. It happened on New Year's Eve, 2016. Mark Lewis hated being alone. That's why he accepted the invitation. A remote cabin, old college friends, a chance to forget the worst year of his life, his divorce, his job loss, his quiet, empty apartment. The cabin sat deep in the woods, miles from the nearest town. Snow covered everything, swallowing the road behind them as if the forest itself wanted privacy. "Relax," his friend Jason said as they unloaded bags. "What's the worst that could happen?" Mark forced a smile. The air smelled like pine and wood smoke. Inside, the fireplace crackled, music played, drinks poured. For a few hours it felt normal, happy even, but then Mark noticed something strange: the basement door. It was locked from the outside with a heavy padlock. "What's down there?" Mark asked casually. Jason's smile faded for just a second. "Old junk. Previous owner was weird. Don't worry about it." The answer didn't sit right. As the night went on, the power flickered. Once, twice, then it stabilized. Old wiring. Someone joked, but Mark couldn't shake the feeling that the cabin was listening. At 11:40 p.m., someone suggested a game, truth or dare. Laughter echoed, secrets spilled, alcohol blurred the edges of fear. Then it was Mark's turn. "Truth," he said. Jason leaned forward. "Ever regret something so bad it still keeps you awake?" The question hit too close. Mark hesitated, then nodded. "Yeah, every night." Silence fell for a moment. Then, from below their feet, came a sound. A muffled thump. Everyone froze. What was that? A girl whispered. Jason laughed too loudly, probably the pipes. Another thump. This one louder, closer. Mark stood up. "That's not pipes." Before anyone could stop him, he walked to the basement door and grabbed the lock. Jason rushed forward. "Don't." But it was too late. Mark pulled. The lock fell open. The door creaked as it swung inward. The smell hit them first. Rot, sweat, something old and wrong. The basement light flickered on, revealing concrete walls, and a man chained to a pole. His face was bruised, his lips cracked, his eyes wide with terror. "Oh my God," Mark breathed. The man tried to speak, but only a broken sound came out. Jason snapped. "You weren't supposed to open that." "What did you do?" Mark shouted. Before Jason could answer, the man screamed. A scream so raw it cut through the cabin like glass, and then the power went out completely. Darkness swallowed them. Someone ran, someone fell. In the chaos, Mark felt a hand grab his arm. "Help me." The chained man whispered. "Please," he said. No one would ever come. Jason's voice cut through the dark. "Nobody leaves." That was when Mark understood. This wasn't a party, it was a trap. Jason had been using the cabin for years. luring people he hated, people who crossed him, disposing of them where no one would ever look. But Jason had made one mistake. He invited witnesses. In the struggle that followed, the fire spread. Flames climbed the walls. Smoke filled the air. Mark dragged the chained man free as the cabin burned. Jason didn't make it out. When the police arrived, they called it an accident. But Mark knew better. Karma didn't knock. It waited. And when the clock struck midnight, it collected its debt. The second story begins in a city apartment, high above the streets, where fireworks lit the sky and nobody could hear a scream. Emily Parker was obsessed with appearances, perfect clothes, perfect photos, perfect life online. On New Year's Eve, she threw a party that everyone wanted an invitation to. Influencers, models, strangers who wanted to be seen. Her boyfriend, Ryan, watched from the corner, uneasy. "You invited too many people," he said. Emily smiled without looking at him. "Relax. Tonight is about new beginnings." Ryan swallowed his words. What he didn't say was that this was supposed to be their night. Just them. At 11:55, Emily raised a glass. "To the future," she said, and leaving the past behind. Everyone cheered. Everyone except Ryan, because the past was standing right behind her. A man no one noticed, quiet, still, watching. As the countdown began, Ryan felt his phone vibrate. Unknown number. He opened the message. "She ruined my life. Tonight, she pays." Ryan's blood turned cold. He scanned the room. 10:08. The man stepped closer to Emily. 7:06. Ryan pushed through the crowd. "Emily, get away from 5." The lights shattered. Glass exploded outward as the balcony doors burst open. 4:03. The man grabbed Emily's arm. 2. She remembers me, he said calmly. 1. Screams drowned out the fireworks. The man dragged Emily toward the edge. Ryan lunged, grabbing her other arm. "Please," Emily sobbed. "I don't know you." The man smiled. "You do. You just pretended I didn't exist." Years earlier, Emily had falsely accused him to protect her image. He lost his job, his family, everything. Now, on the night of fresh starts, he wanted an ending. Police sirens wailed below. In the struggle, Emily slipped. Her hand slid from Ryan's grasp, and she fell. The man didn't run. He waited. When they arrested him, he whispered one thing: "Happy New Year." Karma doesn't forget. It just waits for the right moment to be remembered. The third story is the most terrifying, because it could happen to anyone. Sarah and Tom were driving home after a small New Year's Eve dinner. Snow fell lightly. The road was empty. At 11:58, their car stalled. Perfect timing, Tom muttered. They stepped out, breath fogging the air. Then they heard it. Footsteps, slow, crunching through snow. A figure emerged from the darkness, carrying a phone. "Car trouble?" the stranger asked. Tom nodded cautiously. The man smiled. "I can help, but first, can you tell me what time it is?" Sarah checked her phone. 11:59. The man's smile widened. "Good," he said. "I've been waiting all year." The clock hit midnight, and the man's face changed. His eyes went black. "You left me to die last year," he whispered. Sarah screamed as memories flooded back. A hit and run, a man in the road, their decision to keep driving. The stranger stepped closer. "This year," he said softly, "it's my turn." No one knows what happened next. The car was found, running, doors open, no footprints leading away. Just 2 phones on the ground, both frozen at 12:00 a.m. Some nights are meant for celebration. Others are meant for justice. So if you believe karma is real, if you believe the past always finds a way back, subscribe. Because the new year is always watching, and it never forgets.